Johnny Cash.
Yes, the man in black, that's Johnny Cash. And the story behind this photo is Johnny Cash's legendary album, Live in St. Quentin Prison. Johnny Cash was asked to give a message to the warden. And that's what he did, which I love, because that gesture, that symbol, the bird, as it's come to be known, is something very close to my heart. Because if you were to drive past me at just about any time, morning, midday, evening or night, you will likely see me doing this. And I'm doing that because I'm likely listening to something that sounds like this. So this is a very part here before. It's an awesome, thank you. Awesome post-hardcore band out of America. They disbanded a few years ago, but you will see me in my car going absolutely nuts, screaming at the sky, just like songs to scream at the sun, is what that album is called, in a fit of rage. Now, the reality that you may not know is that I am a raging metalhead. So what I want to share with you today is what it's been like living as a metalhead when you look like a Backstreet. So the truth is, actually, my story actually starts with the Backstreet Boys. Because growing up, my mum was, and still is, a massive fan of the Backstreet Boys. And so every day, driving my sister and brother and I to school, we were subjected to the Backstreet Boys, morning and evening, all day, every day. So naturally, the three of us became massive Backstreet Boy fans ourselves. It was by osmosis, it was unavoidable. So much so, we actually went a few years ago to the Backstreet Boy concert, the three of us together, which was, anyone there, did anyone go? It was amazing. It was so good. It was so good. I'm not shooting you here. I was having so much fun, as you'll see in a moment, that a woman after the show, 2 rows back from me, came up to me and said, "I've been watching you the whole concert. And I filmed you. Can I have your number so I can send you the videos?" That's what she sent me. That wasn't just the big numbers, it was a slow jam. So I love the Backstreet Boys. Obviously, grew up pretty much listening to them. I promise I am a metalhead. I'll get to it shortly, because my journey really began, right? Anybody remember Borders? Rest of my fun My story starts with Borders. If anyone who remembers Borders, fantastic book song, also had an incredible music section. And in that music section, you had CDs lining the walls with listening stations where you could go and give your CD, you could listen to whatever CD you wanted to listen to. Now, this fateful day in 1999, I was at Borders, and there was an album that was just staring at me. An album as black as the night, with iconography that I recognised, and it was calling me. And that album was AC/DC's Back in Black. I put it on, and from the first bell ring of the ominous chime of the opening track, Hell's Bells, I was intrigued. I was curious. I knew my life was about to change. And from the first note of Angus Young's guitar, I was hooked. My life was about to change forever. Was it ever going to be the same again? Fuck no, I fucked that out. Life was absolutely not going to be the same again. Because I was now immersed in the world of metal and punk. I started to replace my Ricky Martin CDs with Rancid, my Spice Girls with Slipknot, my Backstreet Boys with Blood for Blood, listening to songs that literally start like this. White trash, what the fuck? I'm not white trash. How was I connecting to this? That song is called Some Kind of Hate by Blood for Blood. Amazing song. It has lyrics. You call me antisocial, well, you're funny. this motherfucking world and every motherfucker inside. And I love this song. I am the opposite of antisocial, and I love every motherfucker inside. So I'm connecting to this music, but somehow, something inside of me was feeling seen, was feeling heard, and I started to immerse myself deeper. What the fuck was happening to me? I went so deep, and I started to discover a whole myriad of new genres of punk and metal. From Viking metal, horror metal, speed metal, power metal, death metal, black metal, doom metal, grindcore, hardcore, post-hardcore, mathcore, emo, screamo, riot girl, Celtic punk, skate punk, goth punk, horror punk, Ukrainian gypsy punk, which is actually a genre. Ali knows it, it's amazing. I was going so deep, I was like, what violent is? I was like the kid from that movie. I wanted it all. I could not get enough of anything that was fast and loud. Now my story really took a turn in year 2002. Anybody ever go to the big day out here? Oh, my people. So, Water Festival in 2002 was the first big day I ever attended. And there was a band that played there called NoFX, my absolute favourite band at the time, incredible Californian punk band, right? So naturally I was incredibly excited to see NoFX at this day out. The problem was that the NoFX fans at this festival looked a lot like this. And they wore a lot of these spikes. And I looked a lot like this. So I found myself at this show, on the periphery of the pit, getting stabbed to death by spikes from all the punks coming off the circle, and absolutely stabbing me, feeling to myself, am I in the right place here? Is this where I belong? Do I fit in here? I felt so out of place. We started to question whether this movement, this music, whether this was actually where I was finding myself belonging. But something else happened in 2002, at that exact same big day out. You see, there was another band on the bill, System of a Down, for anyone who might be a fan of late 90s and 2000s metal. Now, System of a Down looked like this. At this time, around the same time, when Big Day Out was a travelling sort of road show, I was on holiday with my family here, New Zealand. And we just so happened to be staying at the same hotel as every Big Day Out band that was part of this tour. So in New Zealand, we're sitting with my family in the dining room, in the restaurant of the hotel, and who's sitting at the table next to me? System of a Down. Now naturally I'm freaking out. I said, oh my God, that's just what am I going to do? I was a huge fan, and my mum, who was actually a fan, couldn't give a shit, and she was saying, well, just go up and talk to them. So I'm like, oh, okay. So naturally I got up, and I went up nervously, nervous, skinny Jewish little 19-year-old, or however old I was, and I just said, yeah, I'm a huge fan. And the scariest metalhead of them all looked directly into my soul and said, thanks, man. Hey, you want to have a seat? And he's like, yeah, man. Hey, I got a spare summer cookie. You want it? I'm like, what the fuck is happening? So I sat down and had cookies with System of a Down. And it was an unbelievable experience. And it reaffirmed for me something that I kind of, well, I guess always felt, but was really starting to become true. And it was something that I'd seen already in Wayne's World, for any Wayne's World fans out there who see Alice Cooper talk about Lily Wakang, being Al Goldwyn for the good land, right? That actually, maybe there's something more to this movement. Maybe not every book can be judged by its cover, and maybe there's something deeper actually going on here. And what I started to realise is that metalheads, on the whole, are really nice people. Even this guy. And the reason for that is actually because of this. You see, the world is pretty fucked up, right? And we all have rage, anger, angst, aggression naturally inside of us. We can't control our environments, we're at the whim of our environments. There are forces in our world that simply, naturally are going to affect us and impact us. And therefore we all have those forces inside. But it's about how we find positive ways to channel that energy in order to help regulate ourselves and really move through life, accepting and actually trying to make the world the best place it can be. Now, some people turn to yoga, and some people turn to running, and some people turn to fucking moshing. Me, I turn to moshing. For me, I find listening to this music, listening to music that on the face of it, I simply cannot relate to in any way. I don't come from some downtrodden community, right? Living from a broken home. I'm very fortunate. I'm LinkedIn. But somehow, in engaging with this music, the energy that it gives me and the energy that courses through it, it allows me a positive release, a positive outlet. It actually provides an incredible sense of balance and calm and just yin fucking yang in my life to give me the tools and the ability to express myself both in private as well as at punk and metal shows in a way that actually complements my exterior and complements who I am deep down inside. It's when you look at the same band that we heard before, at Heart, this is what they say in the beginning of their shows. They say, get rowdy, get fucking crazy, have a good time, just respect the space and respect each other. And actually, when you delve into this movement, that's exactly what it's all about. It's people releasing energy, having a great time, respecting one another, and actually forming a really beautiful, powerful community and relationships that endure right beyond stereotype. And an example of that is this person, Bram Presser, who is the lead singer of band Hardcore, as well as Damn the Empire. But he's also a world-renowned, award-winning author, a lawyer, a lecturer in criminology at Melbourne University, and one of my best mates. That's us with my daughter Maisie in New York. We were there with our families. We can go to New York together with my daughter Maisie. What a cool! But ultimately, Brad and I connected many years ago through our love of music and have formed such a beautiful friendship, despite the fact that we could not look more different. And he's 10 years older than me. But ultimately, what I've found is that the depth through this community and the way that we all process the music that we love and use that as a connection point is something that has given my life so much meaning and so much power. So what have I learned from my venture into the wonderful and misunderstood world of punk and metal music? Well, find a healthy release. Some meditate, some mosh. But ultimately, right, when we find what it is that gives us the power to be our truest and most authentic selves and release the negative energy that naturally exists and courses through us, there is a lot of power within that outlet. Don't judge a book or a band by its cover, because sometimes the scariest looking dudes are actually the nicest guys that are going to genuinely share their summer cookie with you. And finally, like what you like. And if anybody doesn't get it or doesn't like that, well, there's really only one thing you need to say to them. White trash, I call rock and roll fuck.